I'll be brief. Kentucky played an outstanding game, especially with their offensive rebounding. We knew coming into the game that we had to slow them down in transition and really do a great job on the boards. Unfortunately, this wasn't our best night rebounding. They made us pay the price for it. They got great production from their bench, specifically Vanderbilt and PJ. But again, we played some pretty good defense overall. We just couldn't get the rebound. We pride ourselves on being a good defensive team. And had we been able to get some more of those rebounds, we thought we could get out in transition and hurt them with their transition defense. But give them credit. They played like a really hungry basketball team, lots of energy. We didn't play our best game, but you know, we still have a high ceiling, another level to go to on both ends of the floor. We've shown flashes of it, and hopefully, you know, in the next week or two, we'll get there.
Okay, questions for the student athletes?
You see all the other things that he can do and the energy he brings. When Jared Vanderbilt's offensive game comes around, what kind of player can you kind of imagine him being?
You know, he was a guy that we had a couple of stars by his name in the scouting report. And I know you'll say, Coach, did you really have stars by his name? Yes. And I know everybody talks about Knox and obviously Alexander and, you know, what they can do offensively. But in games like this, you need a utility guy. And if you measure our success, it's not always about, you know, Petty or Sexton or Dante. It's guys like Dejon Ingram and Braxton Key and Herb Jones. And their utility guy was huge for him tonight. You know, 5 offensive rebounds. We thought we had a couple of stops there at the end, but he either gets the rebound or he keeps it alive. And, you know, basically had a double-double almost, 1 rebound short. But that's why we were really concerned about Vanderbilt.
Right here.
Hey, Avery, what were you guys doing against Kevin Knox? He didn't score in the first half, and what changed for him in the second half?
Well, in the second half, the first play of the second half, we didn't get any protection behind our pick and roll coverage. And we just got to do a better job of finding guys like him. And I thought they did a nice job of trying to move him around a little bit. He wasn't just a 3-point shooter. They posted him up. He was aggressive at trying to take the ball to the basket. And, you know, sometimes when you get benched, that's a great teacher, the bench, right?
Avery, some of the other SEC coaches have implied that this Kentucky team may not have been the same caliber as some of the others that John has had. What's your assessment of the team, and how far do you think they can go in the tournament?
Well, it's still a dangerous team. When you have, you know, the depth and the length and the size that they have on their team, they're still dangerous. It's just going to be a matter of they can make some threes. We did a pretty good job of defending them at the 3-point line, but they beat us up on the boards. And when you have a team that's capable, where everybody on the team gets an offensive rebound and at least 20 offensive rebounds and a bunch of second chance points, should have been even more than that if it wasn't for our, you know, interior defense. They can go far. The one thing about the SEC, and this is what I was sharing with some of the guys who are from Tuscaloosa that cover us when they were asking us about, you know, the job that Cal's doing and the team. You know, their last 4 losses, you know, weren't against a YMCA team. You played against Missouri, Tennessee, you know, A&M, Auburn, pretty good teams, right? And, you know, we had a chance to win in a tough environment. There's no moral victories, but, you know, we got to be better in the last 4 minutes of a game. But this is a tough team. They're still a tough team. They're still a tournament team. We're going to have 8 or 9 teams in the tournament. And, you know, that's why it's important for us to try to win as many games as we can to continue to build the resume.
Back here.
Avery, what did you see in those final few minutes with the turnovers? Were they just sped up, or what was going on?
Well, I just think, you know, didn't take care of the ball in terms of ball security. When we got 2 defenders on the ball, we didn't make the right play to the open man, and I don't know if sped up. I just think give their defense some credit. A lot of times in those situations, when you make a mistake, you want to look at what you could have done better, but give their defense some credit. We've been on the other side, and if they did speed us up a little bit, then we got to find a way to change gears and slow down a little bit and get in our right spots.
Right here, Jerry.
Avery, I wonder what you saw in the rebounding. Was it a lack of boxing out, or was it a hustle thing? What did you see?
I thought it was all of the above. There were times we're not good enough to win a jumping contest with teams, but we have to make contact. But there were other times, maybe when they were a little bit better athletically than we were, and we jumped, and we probably jumped as high as we could. They just jumped a little bit higher. But that's no knock on our team, by the way. We feel we're as competitive as anybody in the league. But had it not been for 20 offensive rebounds, let's just say if it was a relatively decent number of 6 or 7, then we probably are saying, something different, because that means we could run more in transition with the way we can run in transition. We'll have more shots at the basket, and they wouldn't have as many second chance points. And maybe I'm a lot happier talking to you, Jerry.
Okay, we got 2 more questions right here with Jeff, and then we'll go Larry. We're done.
Avery, you mentioned earlier they looked like a really hungry team today. Did you kind of anticipate that with them coming off of these 4 tough games?
Well, hungry is a good word, but sometimes desperate. When you're coming in and you've lost 4 in a row and you're playing in this environment with the tradition that's here, pretty desperate. We seem to get really desperate after we lose a game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with us Wednesday night. But yeah, they were desperate and they had a lot of energy, and I thought maybe we could break them down a little bit more late in the game. We were right there. Maybe the pressure would switch on them, but we didn't do a good job of taking care of the ball or rebounding it.
Okay, last one with Larry.
Avery, what did you think the play of Quaddy Green tonight?
He hit a 3 in the first half, which I thought gave him a little bit of confidence. And, that's what it is with all these guys. John, he's done such a fantastic job because he's been coaching so many young guys for such a long time. And these guys don't always cooperate, but you got to try to build their confidence. This is funny. We're playing against a team that's younger than us. And sometimes they make mistakes because this is not the AAU or the high school level. This is big time basketball. But building his confidence, I'm sure Cal built his confidence a little bit more, and they need him. They need his 3-point shooting. Our guys, we're young. We got a bunch of guys that's never played in this building. But building these young guys' confidence and getting them to respond and play tougher and play with competitive spirit on a consistent basis is not easy, but that's why we get paid the big bucks.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.